APC party don ask dem member and supporter dem not for take part in the midterm population and housing census wey go begin December 10 this year. We go look inside the Sierra Leone collateral registry where the Bank of Salone with support from World Bank they implement for support small and medium enterprise them. And today inside the program, the West Africa Examination Council WAEC go talk about wetin they don't put together for improve external exam them.
Well, this and other stories them day na the program for you, plus the Director of Welfare, now the Minister of Social Welfare, Francis Kabia, go talk about the importance of the International Day for Persons Living with Disability, when at tomorrow, Friday, December 3rd this year. And Sefi they listen to from Radio Shalom 89.5 na Kwenadugu, na Falaba District. Same way on Radio Malen 88.5 and Radio 1G 101.3, Voice of Masoro 90.5, all from Pujan districts, Radio Kolente 90.5 na Cambia, Radio Moa 15.5 na Kailaun, Voice of Karen 98.0 na Kamakwe, Radio Vopad 96.5 FM, and Voice of Sandor 95.7 FM na Kono district. The program na Good Morning Saloon, you can do from 98.1 FM and on the internet on www.radiodemocracy.sl. You can be part of the program by making send text message to the number 077 981 077981981 are the number for sending text message and be part of the program. Or go on our Facebook page and drop a comment on issues them we will talk inside the program. As you get from one power headline today, we go look inside the Salone collateral registry where the Bank of Salone with support from World Bank they implement for support small and medium enterprise them. Well, for sake of that, I want to welcome Yusuf Dalhatu, Manager and Registrar, Salone Collateral Registry Banking Supervision Department, Bank of Salone. Good morning, Yusuf, and welcome to the program Good Morning Salone.
Good morning, listeners.
Okay, continue for the with me inside the program. We'll come back to you. The program now Good Morning Salone will come to you from 98.1 FM.
The program Good Morning Salon they continue, and the first issue we will look at as the Ministry of Gender and Children's Affairs don't go lay the gender empowerment bill in Parliament for make MP them look inside am and turn them to law. This make the chairperson at the Gender and Children's Committee in Parliament, Honorable Zainab Tarali, say the gender empowerment bill no go through na Parliament is the one because the different woman group them not don't engage the member of Parliament them yet. Honorable Zainab Tarali talk this in our meeting where campaign for good governance with support from Turkey, Irish Aid and other partner them, who said then go launch the Yellow Ribbon campaign. As he said, from where the Ministry of Gender be don't go lay the gender empowerment bill in Parliament, member of Parliament them is say, till now they not look inside the bill yet. You know, Kabia gets more and go now report.
July 21 this year, Cabinet be approved the gender empowerment bill and the Ministry of Gender and Children's Affairs be no go lay this bill in Parliament for make member of Parliament then look inside am and turn into law. The gender empowerment bill focus on forming area them when a minimum 30% elective positions for women, minimum 30% appointive positions for women, improve and increase access to finance for women, and gender mainstreaming and budgeting across all sectors. This gender empowerment bill now one way different organization them don't they talk about and safe, don't they give their own contribution, and one panel organization where don't they lead the campaign on the gender empowerment bill, na campaign for good governance. Also they don't they engage people in a different parts of the country for tell them waiting they inside this bill. Now for sake of this, make Turkey, Irish Aid and other partner them don't support campaign for good governance for make them engage the media on the gender empowerment bill and safe launch the Yellow Ribbon campaign. Sir Kendema, now the program manager na CGG, talk more about this.
What we will do here today, not to anything new, but a continuation of the engagement or the interventions where CGG and partners don't they do for ensure that we will for support how this bill here will be enacted quickly. We don't engage with community women them. We don't get an engagement with the members of parliament, especially the female caucus and the gender committee. We as well don't engage different stakeholders. But we thought and fit say we need to engage the media as well because the media are very critical looking at the stage with this bill here now. For make them back, able to come on board, able for support. we there foresee how best at least we can able for launch the Yellow Ribbon campaign.
Sudi Ostinaseliu, now the lead for women empowerment and protection at Turkian, talk about the reason why make they don't support the gender empowerment bill.
The gender empowerment bill, now one of the bills then where really they try for say that equality what they ask for women them, it happen. For the past 3 years, we don't work with them, even for the inception of the drafting of the policy itself. Say we don't work at it and say it don't come to bill so as an organization, we want for continue for commit say we go continue for give money, what's needed, the expertise and the technicality we required. Follow we see say woman them side by side with the company man them.
The Sierra Leone Women in Journalism, now one part the organization them, we serve, we don't they lead the campaign for make the gender empowerment bill turn to law. Millicent Kagbo, now the executive president for the Sierra Leone Women in Journalism, been get this for say, but the gender empowerment bill.
This launch of the Yellow Ribbon campaign by Campaign for Good Governance, Turkey and their partners extends solidarity to the campaign for the empowerment of women, especially around the Gender Empowerment Bill 2021. Let me use this opportunity to encourage my media colleagues to fully join this campaign and ensure that we shed light on issues relating to women and raise our voices for the enactment of the Gender Empowerment Bill.
Nasu Fofana, now one gender expert, say the challenge with the gender empowerment bill they get now because plenty women them not only support this bill.
We need for refocus. Women's commitment to the cause now a great concern. But we also get to make sure that the women that we know they support women their leadership and women their progression. We need for call them by their names and make them. We all know say this woman is not like woman them. This woman is not like woman. Just the way they talk about the man them. If we know root them dirty, then bad things then they inside the movement. We know they go with we go because some of them get access to the people them where for make things be. So we left for the full we self say now we all they support we self. We get small fingernail them inside the movement, but they get teeth.
As the bill dey now na parliament, for make member of parliament they look inside the chairperson for the Gender and Children's Committee na parliament, Honorable Catherine Zainab Tarawali say the bill gets plenty challenge and say the bill no go through parliament easy one because the different woman group them no don't engage member of parliament say yet on waiting they inside this bill.
Me no get secret to a cap woman business na parliament. The man they no want the bill. And me no more than the entire leadership of parliament. It's not easy at times I can kick the table the speaker. So anybody has shown us, including Manti, one of the minister, for say the bill go straight through so easy, he lied. The women they will go school better, but we were there. They feel say na phone they make. I say go to parliament and lobby. They say they lobby. They go see how the bill they pass. And they are shown at this back. You get for be very strong. We get for be strong and lobby the powers that be in a parliament. President Bio don't do you. You don't know. The moment the bill they don't lay out. So president business again. The president power very limited. Now the powers of the leaders of parliament. Until and then they accept, then sit down, then cross the T's and dot the I's, then we move. And as I tell you now, we bill. Nothing they not do. From the moment when until there, I tell you now, I say don't not lay this bill. Because I know inside them.
When Imidegi in keynote address and self-launched the Yellow Ribbon campaign, the president for the Salon Association of Journalists, Ahmed Said Nazrala, say man them get important role for play for make the gender empowerment bill turn to law, where making say woman them for involve man them by the process.
But I also want to see the face of this movement, let man they separately, not just woman appear this, the man them, they lead the process, it become more efficient and more effective and we go for convince, we will compliment them for make sure say they believe in the country there. We country, a patriarch society, we want to mandate the controller. And so they become socially and culturally constructed. Man they in charge and then they control everything. And so for let you deconstruct that one day, it will take time again for doing. And maybe one of the things that we are glad we will try to do right now, to make sure say we change the mindset of the mandate, that they understand and know. See, woman them, it's a better role for play. side by side with them for achieve the development we want for the country.
He continue say the media will continue for support this bill so they in turn to law.
So tonight with the committee today, we make a commitment today for support this process because we say this now. We believe saying this now a good initiative, and it's so much when I see the process how far we go, just similar to what we said we go through, what we try to get the criminal libel law for common law books.
Ahmed Said Nazgala end up call on the different woman group them for continue for engage different people in a different sector them for make member of parliament them go turn into law for Radio Democracy. Kabia the report.
The program now Good Morning Saloon, where they come to you from 98.1 FM. As you get from One Power headline, today we talk to the Director of Welfare, now the Minister of Social Welfare, Francis Kabia. We go talk about the importance of the International Day for Persons Living with Disability, where now tomorrow, Friday, December 3rd, 2021. For second that, I want to welcome Mr. Kabia inside the program. Good morning, welcome to the program.
Good morning, Musa. Good morning, 98.1. Good morning, listeners and viewers. Good morning to the community of persons with disabilities, and congratulations in advance on the commemoration of the International Day of Persons with Disabilities.
Okay, same way, so inside the program, earlier will be done introduce Yusuf Dalhatu, Manager and Registrar, Salon Collateral Registry, Banking Supervision Department, Bank of Salon. We can talk about the collateral registry, where the Bank of Salon, with support from World Bank, they implement for support small and medium enterprise them na Salon. Good morning once more, Yusuf, and welcome to the program.
Good morning, Musa. Good morning, listeners. Good morning, viewers.
Well, earlier in 2014, the World Bank do survey for know what are some of the challenge them where business them, especially small business them, they get na Salon. And inside that survey, it shows small business then they get challenged for get access to loan. And one of the challenge where they unbog them for get access to loan now the issue of collateral, where mean say what is they show where they show say you able to pay this loan, if you not pay, they go replace the loan. And for sake of that, the Bank of Salon with them partner them establish or enact the 2014 Borrowers and Lenders Act, where they facilitate the small and medium term enterprise them, then loan facilities them. Well, Yusuf that had today inside the program for tell we more about this project and how far they don't go with them. That had to from that background they way Adongi and the challenge them with small and medium term enterprise then they get for get access to loan and the walkway the World Bank and Bank of Salon they do. Take me through this program.
Good morning, listeners and viewers. Musa, like you had to rightly say, in 2014-2015, the World Bank, to the Global Competitive Survey, do a survey on Sierra Leone on the top constraint in doing business in Sierra Leone. And topmost of the constraints now access to finance. It's top corruption, infrastructure, and the likes. So if access to finance, top corruption, infrastructure, meaning we have a problem as a country at that time, which is access to finance. And most of the vulnerable people that day, most of the vulnerable people we this cut across na small and medium enterprises. Although the new vogue now na micro, small and medium enterprises, MSMEs. So, but studies don't show we say micro, small and medium enterprises are engines to economic growth and development all over the world. Then they employ a lot of people. But in this part of the world, they constrain, forget credit, we would call access to finance. Most time when you go to financial institution and for obtain loan, the first two they will ask you for what's in collateral. Whose collateral you get for this loan, what you the pledge. In real life, that for not be the mainstay. In banking, you get what we call the 5 C's of credit. Where they actually for the look, your cash flow, your character for repay, your capacity, then people go look at your collateral. But over the years, because people are not they pay, financial institution then take it now say, people are done the default. We get high default rate. So as you go there, they ask you what you the pledge. And most of them, they look for immovable assets in a land or real estate. So that be the excluding small and medium enterprises that will be find it very difficult for obtain loan. And most of them small, medium enterprises, them, what did they get? They get movable assets. What did they movable assets then, like vehicle, inventory, machinery. So it be difficult for any financial institution to take them. So now based on that, the World Bank and Bank of Sierra Leone prior to 2017 team up and come up with the Borrowers and Lenders Act 2014, where empower the Bank of Sierra Leone to establish and maintain a collateral registry. So basically, the collateral registry is an electronic database which can be accessed from any part of the world. So all you need is an internet connection and a laptop. So basically, when Bank of Sierra Leone established the collateral registry, it gives comfort to financial institutions. For them, they go able to register property. When you register property, you register a claim, we call it security interest in your own balance as banking. But I know I'm bored with people that will all learn terminology then. So you register your claim, you go into the system as a financial institution, you register, there is a form, you register a claim. When you register, meaning you don't announce to the whole world, say, I get interest by this property. This individual, Musa can't take loan to me to the tune of this. And now this property pledge. So if you Musa take that same property, go to another financial institution, what did the financial institution first to do? Now for check the system, go called search. You search the collateral registry. When you search the collateral registry, the other financial institution, the sooner you search, it will come up. You say this property here, what is supposed to come to me? Another institution get hold on them to the tune of so and so amount. So the other financial institution go straight away take time for deal with you. Even if one give you loan, you know say this property somebody say get interest per annum to this tune. So basically the collateral registry they will help institution them forget informed knowledge about collateral and property and people that would take loan.
Okay, continue.
So
in that case, waiting go get for be the process for the big businesses and the small medium enterprises them in terms of taking loan.
So first and foremost,
The difference.
They will tell you say, I they register this property with counts now. Most people you employ. Now in the system they capture as micro, we know say micro 1 to 5. If you employ 1 to 5 people, as bank you go know say no, this is a small micro enterprises. If you employ between 5 to 15, we know say na small. So, but if you employ more than 50, you always know say na large business.
So now we look at, since we now introduce this, how effective or how helpful it don't do to small businesses them across Salone?
Yeah, so since we introduced this, I will tell you, me they sit at my own comfort of my office, I be able to see the system. You dey find out, say now, a lot of enterprises, a lot of the financial institutions, that they take movable assets them for loan. That they take motor car. In fact, inventory and motor vehicle now the topmost where they don't register na the system. You see, they take all lending and they. So meaning we are making progress as an institution and as a country. But however, 2014, like I said, the Borrowers and Lenders Act 2014 and the Borrowers and Lenders Regulation, we technically explain how the collateral registry for work came into effect 2016. But halfway through the process, the Bank of Sierra Leone and the World Bank come back and look at how the process don't go so far. We look at, say, okay, there are shortcomings now with law. Because we initial system and initial law, individual not able to register property. We now downside, and we not to international best practice. Okay. Institution not licensed by the Bank of Sierra Leone, self not be able to register property. Right, we not be downside.
Okay, continue for the week. We inside the program. Yusuf Dalhatu, manager and registrar, Salone Collateral Registry Banking Supervision Department, Bank of Salone. The program na Good Morning Salone, where they can you from 98.1 FM.
The program na Good Morning Salon, and we dey continue with the program. We get another studio guest inside the program, and as Salon they join other country them for celebrate International Day for Persons with Disability. This morning we get Francis Kabia, the Director for Social Welfare, where they also for tell we about this day. But before we start for talk about the celebration and the activities that we don't put in place for celebrate disabled people, first start for tell we about the status of disabled people in Salon.
Thank you very much, Wani. With this enviable platform as a Ministry of Social Welfare, we're at the national machinery on disability issues in this country, for bring with listeners and viewers up to speed on what to make we take this conscious decision for commemorate the International Day of Persons with Disabilities. Duya Wani had a big pardon. Before I respond to that question, they give me an opportunity for put the discussion within the context. Let Fambule know what to make we as a ministry take this decision for commemorate the International Day of Persons with Disabilities. Women and picking them no get nothing for do with the rights, the dignity, and well-being of adults with disabilities, especially the male with disabilities. So because of that, they may advocate to the United Nations for proclaim an International Year of the Disabled. So in 1981, Musa, the United Nations, listening as it be, they may proclaim the International Year of the Disabled. As they proclaim the year, they encourage states them, whether at national, regional, or international level, for develop action plan for address 3 key challenges at that time. And the challenges that we will be get at that time now: 1, equalization of opportunities; 2, prevention of disabilities; and 3, rehabilitation. So as countries they may roll out them various plans there, the United Nations be they monitor closely. So during the first decade of the International Year of the Disabled, the United Nations be realize a huge progress be done day in terms of the gaps there, equalization of opportunities. Yes.
A huge progress done the day, and Salon don't join other country for celebrate this day. How far Salon don't go, or what things Salon don't achieve out of the aim of the celebrations we one of our equal opportunities?
Now, because of the conviction where we get, say, we don't record huge progress for align with international human rights instruments on disability, in this case, the Convention on the Rights of Persons with Disabilities. Now, for that, we say we commemorate. Imagine, Musa, the objects of the Convention on the Rights of Persons with Disabilities, now for promote, for protect, for ensure the inherent dignity and participation of persons with disabilities. So, on 2 key fronts.
So we can't talk about that anymore. Make we just take short break and we will come back.
Salon Commercial Bank don't come with new banking products them for make life easy. With Million Online Bank and Million Mobile App, you can able for use Salon Link money transfer for send money to anybody like you no get bank account. Transfer or receive money na the same bank or any other bank. Transfer money to person or office like you no get the account number. Buy Edsalite, pay other bill them, and now get advanced salary. You don't need for worry again, but almost money then you earn. Because you can able for pay for things the way you buy in a supermarket and other shop them with the quick response code payment. Yagbadon done for the boss man them with Beyond Online. Download them from Google Play Store or any Apple Store, or go to Salon Commercial Bank website www.slcb.com. Sierra Leone Commercial Bank, delivering God.
Countries then at the sub-region for ratify and domesticate the convention. Now for that today, the first question will be asked me now on the Persons with Disability Act. The Persons with Disability Act now an offshoot of the United Nations Convention, when a practical manifestation of government, for implement.
So the question is, whose progress Salon don't make in terms of boosting the disabled them?
A lot of progress. The progress where they outline presently na the policy front, but I know say the interest na the programmatic front. So in terms of programs, waiting we don't do. today, una see say na a right la pikin there with disabilities go na school free. So the introduction of the free quality specialized education for children with disabilities now a massive boost in the lives of pikin there with disabilities. Now a policy, any building where they construct any educational facility where they construct na this country for be disabled friendly, so that irrespective of the category of disability where you get, you go able to acquire education.
So what about the blind pikin and we're not able to acquire secondary education?
The blind, they acquire secondary education, Wani.
Then they get challenges.
Oh, absolutely, Wani.
Because most of them can drop out of school.
Boku other people and they experience challenges, Wani. But the blind, they access secondary education. Now for that, we get blinded today where they na universities. Now for that, we get blinded where they teach today because they able access secondary education. In fact, as I tell you, with the introduction of this free quality education, so now a must, all of them picking in the way they go through the primary school, therefore acquire education and mainstream schools.
So, Mr. Kabi, I'll take you again to the issue of school where you say the disabled picking them get access to schooling. Over the past months or years, we don't see challenge and even strike sometimes. The special needs schools are not open on time because they're not receive their subsidies, or sometimes they get issue with their brain or other thing the way they use. How would I go use this day for address some of them challenges so we don't do the reports over the past years then?
I feel say this now an issue we already don't overcome, Musa. You know, say even the head of the special needs schools, now this country don't come, now this media house for tell the people of this country say government don't already address this issue. But today, when an advocacy event, will they continue to engage the relevant stakeholders? Let we not ever experience this again. Because as a signatory to the Convention on the Rights of Persons with Disabilities, education is a must. Education is imperative. Or for provide the enviable platform, let all children with disabilities acquire education. So today, we advocacy not the only based on access to education. Would they also open up the advocacy to other welfare services?
The theme for this year is leadership and participation of persons with disabilities towards an inclusive, accessible, and sustainable post-COVID-19 world. How are they tailor advocacy in achieving the theme for this year?
Musa, I feel say you and me know say anytime we experience disaster, whether that disaster na artificial one or na natural one, that disaster, they impact persons with disabilities disproportionately. In fact, the measures the way the response can usually institute, they also adversely affect persons with disabilities. Musa, in the case of COVID-19, one of the measures the way government institutes, say, Musa, we get stage. So in fact, we don't develop, Musa, a program with NACOVAC where we do all the things that will be filled in our gaps as we move forward. No, let we address this issue. So for we, as a ministry, we as a country, this team mean everything to we because we don't do so much for make sure say disabled people and play an active role during this COVID-19 response.
Earlier on, you talk about the schools them where you say when I don't do advocacy for schools them for be disabled friendly so that disabled people go get access for good school. So when I get any statistics where get schools them way disabled friendly in terms of people away blind and people away physically impaired.
If I talk about statistics now, the tendency great say I go mislead the public. But Wani, a categorical statement where they make naya, no educational structure, no they again at this country, where they construct within this period, where the principles of accessibility, no they. Any infrastructure where they construct now for education, it therefore take into consideration the principles, the concept, the ideals of disability.
I want to revisit the one that we don't construct before this time for ensure they gets them.
Okay, now for that, we don't undertake what they call an accessibility audit. The accessibility audit now for gauge the willingness of stakeholders for adapt their structures. So from the accessibility audit, we don't realize, say, beaucoup structures, they're still inaccessible, to persons with disabilities. We don't share our findings with them. We don't share our recommendations. We go make sure, say, we use the provisions now the Persons with Disability Act for effect the adjustment order. Because today, now the Persons with Disability Act of 2011 say we as Ministry of Social Welfare and the National Commission for Persons with Disabilities get the right for make people effect adjustment, modify your structure, let it be accessible to persons with disabilities.
Okay.
So Musa today, Adea, on the 2nd of December 2021, where the Kaya 2022 asked me question again on the number of physical structures that we would all make sure say they effect the adjustment order.
Okay, we will come back to you later. We will continue with you, and that's Abi Francis Kabia, we are the director for social welfare. They also for talk about the International Day for Persons with Disabilities celebration, and now London they join other countries then for celebrate this day. And if really disabled people they get the rights where they're supposed to get in the country, we will come back to you. The program na Good Morning Salon, and we where they bring this program cancel you mean Awani Gauja.
Musa Kamara Naminim, and inside the studio we welcome we other studio guests we na times.
The West African Examinations Council, we everybody know now where they go around at the social media, where they deceive people them. So now that
for ensure or for no said and notice the come out we according to na they mislead the public.
What they do with findings, say we get cyber crime units now, we get for forward some of them things, and they do the findings, and we they on at any time we conclude we side fake news they are come out, then they come again and tell the public say now from then side they are and we get the notice the way they deceive the public.
Also notice they out or one day where they talk about the reason for the delay of the WAS results.
Yeah,
that one a formula.
Not to form way.
Continue for the with we inside the program Saliu M. Kamara. We can talk more on this in the Public Affairs Officer, WAEC, Freetown. The program na Good Morning Saloon, 8:15 at the time. We go for short break, we can continue the program.
Because money easy for loss, like how it easy for broke egg. You save not for life you couple business, so people they will not sabi, and one day we get Ben. Union Trust Bank get all the correct and master sabi people them for help make you couple better. We na Union Trust Bank. Team up Tiranga. So your money go fine with no wahala. And you no go get we kind service no other side. Make good use of we SMS alert where they show you your money transaction. Enjoy we internet banking services for check your accounts. Safe, you can visit we website on www.utb.sl for no more but we order plenty products and service them. Now Union Trust Bank, excellence now it's on card. Union Trust Bank, the force and true Salomon Bank.
All right, the program Good Morning, they continue, and we will take another issue inside the program. This being time, the President, retired Brigadier Julius Madabi, will be announced December 10th as the new date for the meeting.
Your motive for insisting that government will come up with this census. Prepare for gerrymander. What in that mean would give yourself advantage by using population. The fact that they don't get these 15,105 enumeration areas, then they get more people there recorded in the southeast. Then the guy can't do it if you not get the census figure. That figure they now the one use for establish what they call the limitation of constituencies. They've already gone down. They will get 8 more seats more than how it's done now. Some people even suggest 20. But also they are also redistricting the country. And they're going to get Panguma, Bandajuma, and Runeta. 3 more of them districts they brought from the southeast. Part of Konodin they cut off. Okanjo Enema or Kailam.
We talk about the process where they use. So whether
and Registrar Salon Kulat
19, we enact a new Borrowers and Lenders Act. We new functionality. So once we pass the law to try for ACU system or go into the system. But I can assure you, remember, we're not only the collateral registry, we're a central bank. A central bank all over the world, highly concerned for Dandy. So we don't make sure say the system is waterproof and tight.
How protected is it from fraudsters?
For fraudsters, I will tell you since we start 2017, there is no time fraudster not able to enter our system. Me they see the border picture, they sit down at my office, even if I didn't house. I will say every to anybody who enter the system, I see them.
Inimna Yusuf Dalhatu, Manager and Registrar, Salon Collateral Registry Banking Supervision, Department Bank of Salon. Therefore, talk about the program we then in World Bank they implement for ensure say then give loan or make facilitates the SMEs then get access to loan them as this don't be challenge according to the 2014 World Bank survey show see that are one of the major challenges then with small business and they get na salon we make them the partner now for ensure say then overcome this challenge for small business them in the country. Continue for the with we inside the program. The time from we studio control clock now 8:30. We go for a short break. We can continue the program.
Una picking for discharge today, but una not pay the money yet.
Doctor, give me your number. I don't send them.
Alex, I don't give you the number for send hour in fees.
I don't send them.
How much the big bag rest?
Na 320,000.
I not get the full cash now.
Na for send them.
Send them? Wetin are this send them where all man they talk about?
You late for your Rio Mary. Send them now go call the Ecopo service. This one fast pass to simple. With the Ecopo, you go send and receive money to anybody, any sign a salon, simple one. The person no need forget bank account or internet. Even if na bouncing phone you get, it go receive and cash money, easy one. With the Ecopo, you go buy something, any sign a salon, and the person will go buy, go cash am simple one. You go use Ecopo, any side where you see this sticker. With go call bank, mobile banking, just don't easy. Ecopo, send them.
GhanaSongs.org.
They causing confusion.
But this confused me, boo. Look where Uncle Nat in World Solid. Look in implement, you no go regret them.
We supposed to be friendly for disabled people, but according to the Disability Act of 2011, lots of schools they no more for be disabled friendly, public building, transportation, and other means. So wetin una don dey do for say una put more emphasis on una advocacy for say disabled people get disabled friendly places them.
The Ministry of Social Welfare thrive on partnership. In fact, as Director of Social Welfare, I don't tell people and say the achievement of the aims and objectives of the Ministry of Social Welfare heavily depends on partnership. And meanwhile, I will respond to some of your questions. I tell you, say, we don't undertake what we call an accessibility audit for gauge the willingness of stakeholders, for adapt then public buildings, let them able access disabled persons. This advocacy, they continue because now the Ministry of Social Welfare will get a committee where we call a National Steering Committee on Disability Issues. That committee, they bring together ministries, departments, and agencies, partners where they work on disability issues, both at the international and local level. We also get civil society organizations for tell you, say, the advocacy not only tap now the Ministry of Social Welfare, the advocacy they now other ministries. In fact, now we they work towards the setting up of disability issues units, now ministries, departments, and agencies, because the disability issues unit for WUNA way of fair with the Persons with Disability Act of 2011, WUNA know say it gets an objective for facilitate the coordination of disability issues now the various ministries, departments, and agencies. For example, if we get a disability issues unit, now the Ministry of Transport and Aviation, we expect that unit there for take leadership whenever the Ministry of Transport and Aviation, they procure any transportation facilities in this country. That person there and that unit there for make sure, say, the facility where the Ministry of Transport and Aviation, they provide friendly to persons with disabilities.
So then I just like talk. When una go put una talk into action, because from 2011 where them put this act together for disabled people and for really get access to things the way normal people and they get, we don't see challenge still then at the area then they, but every year una they continue una advocacy.
Una know say one we don't come a long distance. Now any side where you dey, people and they talk about disability. People and they talk about issues affecting persons with disabilities. That they tell you say the advocacy don't gain momentum. Now it's very difficult. Let we get activities.
So
national.
when the advocacy they come into light,
Even now, una get a whole program on Thursdays for talk about disabled people. We own challenge the media. Just imagine now because of the advocacy we don't hide. Today we they take a tomorrow where we commemorate the advocacy event itself. Will they take a bold step for launch, which we they call the Livelihood Project. Waiting the Livelihood Project they all about. The Livelihood Project now for build the capacity of persons with disabilities through skills training. We no want La Musa go na cotton tree again, disabled people a big hey, give me money, give me that. So now because of this, we want for launch tomorrow, which we call this Livelihood Project, because the Livelihood Project, they address the socio-economic challenges the way persons with disabilities then they face.
Talking about going to the cotton tree, one of these days at the Pasna Stadium during the exhibition, I see a boots where in a disabled them, they make things them, where she'll say disabled people self able to do something for themselves. They're very crafty or create things them for sale and other things them. But going around town, plenty people we they see on the streets the big disabled them. During this day and talking about the livelihood support we want to launch, how want to distract people with disabilities for say disability to qualification for street begging?
Oh, thank you very much, Musa. This is a brilliant question. In fact, you just don't draw recourse to the mantra, the global mantra of disability. We always they tell people and say disability, not to inability. And what we don't do with this livelihood project where they talk about before they launch and so, Musa, we don't undertake series of activities because we know say before this time a couple of institutions they don't venture into this field. Then self be one pool disabled people in the street, but to realize say the intervention the way they've been taken not been sustainable. We don't look at their intervention and they look at the gaps, consider them gaps and they as lesson for we. So we don't develop this program where we feel say is sustainable. Musa, me when a director of social welfare, I they move from house to house. There with centers there where disabled people and get for engage them. For tell them say when you disable, that's no mean say that's not the end of the road. Because one of the key challenges that we would experience, especially we where they work on disability, now the fact that you get disabled people and we get the mentality of despair. That because they're disabled, nothing or they again. That's now one of the activities of the Ministry of Social Welfare for rebranding. Change the thought. So Musa, where would they launch this program today? They go a long way for address some of the issues them where they talk about. So, now we don't identify skills training centers. Who say them people there they go. They're not the only go there. Will they give them transport and refreshment support? Will they get a committee where they monitor what they happen there? As they graduate no more, will not they give them startup kits individually? Rather, will they set business place for them? Will they put the equipment there? Will they run there? And encourage institutions and now, like what they talk so for empower them. For example, we know say the Ministry of Basic and Senior Secondary Education, I ain't there for basic and senior education in this country, and at the schools, beginning they use uniform. If a disabled person don't learn tailoring, it's a bit so fine. We now, as a Ministry of Social Welfare, they engage the Ministry of Basic and Senior Secondary Education, even the Teaching Service Commission, then tell the authorities now the various schools for give contract to them people there. Same way so, Musa. Person don't go learn tinsmithry. He don't go learn welding. We know say we get a lot of farming implement people in the youth, Ministry of Agriculture need. We also interface with the Ministry of Agriculture.
Continue for the with me, said the Program Director of Welfare and the Minister of Social Welfare, Francis Kabia. They talk about the importance of the International Day for Persons Living with Disability when at tomorrow, Friday, December 3rd this year. Well, I count with other studio guests inside the program, Salu M. Kamara, Public Affairs Officer, West African Examination Council, Freetown. Earlier, they talk about the public notice, the we don't go out, and we, according to one, they misinform the public. And one of them, they talk about the WAS results, talk about the reason for the delay of the WAS result. For somebody they listen now, when people they expect the WAS results for be out?
Yeah, then a very good question. We make even then decide for student here because they know say right now the attention of the public is on WAEC because we know the list result yet. But as we know, the recent years then from 2019 now, the calendar seems for change when this coronavirus pandemic, wherein we calendar even the days that will be the set for conducting examination there, then change. So who be the conduct the exams during normal years, the period where we do the marking, they meet up with holidays. So then period and the way they invite examiners, the way now teachers them from other schools, then they turn up for come in great number. But then 2 years there now, that's not the usual situation. Wherein, especially this year, we get a large number of candidature. Then the examiners they will invite for come mark. Now the schools, then they in session. So then therefore teach them, picking them and as well for come mark. So this don't cause the delay. But like say the process still they go on, then we will inform the public accordingly when we release the results. They then just continue for exercise patients. The process they go on, then we will release, we will inform them.
One thing when you talk about public examiners alone, you know, go discuss them and don't discuss them, you know, talk about one thing we don't affect them when an examination malpractice. And if examination malpractice, according to people, don't plenty na the WAS exams and other public exams, them they can point fingers to WAEC when the parents body really conduct the exams they are. So from Muna Yom perspective, how wanna assess examination malpractice into una public exams then?
Examination malpractice, as they talk, is on the increase. And every year, the introduction of technology, they count new methods where people and they cheat on examination. But we also still put modalities in place where then we try for invite some stakeholders then like the ministry officials then can come on board, the ONS, the anti-corruption, and even the police. We be say any of the material or they transport from one place to another, we make sure say then get police escort, especially the sensitive material there. We deal with examination. So we don't try for fight against, but still we go for the continue as the perpetrators, they know they relent, we say know they relent on that.
So what can happen where the question papers them can leak?
Well, people can misinterpret the issues there between leakage of question paper than the other form of examination malpractice. For the past how many years there, the leakage there, where then they talk about, where then they pull paper sometime before time, where then they show on social media, where you can to the conduct of the exam, so you can open the real paper, then paper then they not fake. It can be, I can easily take this book like what I mean, this in cover day. So they all know now how they print the material with the cover. You can just change it now 2017 question. You change the cover page, you put 2021. Then he puts 2017 question there. So where the student and they can answer the real exam, where then they open the question paper, then she say, waiting there at the social media where they deceive them. It's quite different.
So you want to say una questions they no ever leak?
They know they leak this behind time. It's not easy again.
But we don't they leak.
The other examination malpractice where people and they say leakage, where then we don't start the examination, then people and the way they snap them in and they pull them out. So now you find out where they visit the centers, the way they conduct exams. When I self can prove where you they go, nearly the first 10-15 minutes. Now so some candidates and they sit down, they know they write nothing anyway.
How did you work with the mobile company operators them in controlling examination malpractice? Because now it come on where somebody they sit exam, the first thing they inquire or they require now a smartphone for ensure say them browse during the exam time. And people not like for it again we say coverage, you know, we mean say they use their network here for ensure say they send questions for them, now them phones them during examination.
Well, the mobile companies will not get any legal bond for say we they conduct exams. That side they let them just disable the network, they will not get. But the only thing will get rules and regulations. We they conduct exams, the candidates they will not be allowed with phone. And even now, don't they go on where they do briefing, where then the invigilator, self where they invigilate, will not they allow them with phone. so that law will mitigate some of the offenses there. And any candidate who catch with phone inside, because they search them before then they go inside. If they catch you with phone, then that obviously na offense that one day, where you get a penalty.
We get for can look at more of the issues them within WAEC and public exam. The program na Good Morning Salon with the country from 98.1 FM. We'll go for a short break. We'll continue for look at more issues.
EcoBank, the leading bank na Salon. Don't come.
Hey, this blow me mind, Bobs. You don't hear about EcoBank, the new service to the customer them. That's not the EcoBank Express Points. What I'm going for make it easy for me and you. We don't want to go with na bank. Now that make EcoBank Express Point the plenty side near you area, like a pharmacy, shop, supermarket, and even na microfinance or any side where you see the Express Point sign. On top that, EcoBank Express Point, they give you the service where you bank they give you, even where the bank don't lock. Like you go put money, pull money, open express account, pay your bill, buy airtime, receive money through Western Union, and send and receive money through Rapid Transfer. When an EcoBank their own money transfer service, where they operate at 33 African countries them, outside EcoBank Day, and you don't need for carry any foreign currency. EcoBank care about you. You just go to any side where the agent and the Express Point sign day today for easy banking, easy access, no yagba.
EcoBank.
When you buy and service your Toyota vehicle to the right people them, you know they get one ADAT. And that's na Sika Motors Sierra Leone Limited, na 21 Bible Road Kisi Freetong. Sika Motors na the only authorized distributor for Toyota vehicle and genuine Toyota spare parts them na the country for Toyota Motors Corporation of Japan. Them vehicle and design for meet the weather condition of this country. Them make them vehicle then specially for meet the utility, commercial, private, and executive vehicular need. You go get 3 year or 100,000 kilometer warranty. In on top though, you go get license and registration with free regular service up to 15,000 kilometer for any Toyota vehicle where you buy from Sika Motors. With the state-of-the-art workshop, we get modern diagnostic machine them, together with trained technician them, go give you vehicle the service precision where in need, where that go give you the collage where you deserve. For no more about Sika Motors Sierra Leone Limited, go na number 21 Bible Road Kisi Freetong. Telephone 088 012 350 and 088 012 355. Sika Motors Sierra Leone Limited, the party where you for believe, forget original and quality Toyota vehicle and spare parts them.
The program na Good Morning Saloon with the country from 98.1 FM. Inside the program, we continue to look at more issues. As the Human Rights Commission will present the 14th edition of the Human Rights Reports for the year 2020 to the President na State House, the President Dr. Julius Marabio, where even they received this report, call on politicians them, not for the practice bad politics for inside violence, but for the talk about policy and concrete achievements them we then don't do. For more on this, we join Wanega Ojam.
According to Section 24, Subsection 1 of the Human Rights Commission Act 2004, the Human Rights Commission gets the mandate for give report every year to the President. Outside this report, get for do with how the Commission don't they observe people in human rights in the country and make recommendation them to governments. This year, the Commission don't complete the 2020 report, where the Commission will present to His Excellency the President, Dr. Julius Marabio status, where make the 14th edition, where this according to the chairperson, now this Commission, Madam Patricia Danema, say the number of complaints them go up from 2019 and say the complaint them will be plenty now the right to property and workman them human rights.
During the reporting period, complaints received increased from 326 in 2019 to 363 in 2020. This also includes mobile complaints presented in groups but counted as one. This increase is mainly due to the Commission's robust awareness raising and the positive results coming out of our interventions. Denial of the right to property constitutes 15% of the highest of all complaints received, followed by the denial of workers' rights on the benefits and other work-related matters.
Where it be they present the report to the President, Madam Patricia Danema been talk about some of the human rights abuse them, where then capture inside this report, and commend government, but decide them, also them put effort for respect people them human rights.
Economic, social, and cultural rights, right to education. Government increased its budgetary allocations to the Ministry of Basic and Senior Secondary School Education from 21 to 22% to address the many concerns in the education sector. In line with Sustainable Development Goal 4, which speaks to inclusion and non-discrimination, government, through the radical inclusion policy of the ministry, lifted the ban on plain school girls imposed in 2010, now giving them access to educational services. The Commission continues to express concerns over the number of inmates without indictments being indicators for overcrowding. At the Freedom Male Correctional Center, for example, the Commission, during its monitoring visit, observed and noted 250 inmates without indictment and who had spent over 3 years in detention. This constitutes a major human rights violation contrary to human rights provisions. Access to water continues to pose a challenge as communities such as Kaningbu, Sumaila Town, Wokel, Jagalama, and the center of town are still challenged, thus leading to destruction of government and private water pipes and a bid to access water. In some communities, water bowsers go on service for weeks, thus putting pressure on especially children to go fetching water from distances.
Where they receive this report, the president be talk about the efforts where government don't make for protect people and human rights, and say the government don't bring more reform na the judiciary, and say people is say get access to justice.
Government recognizes the rationale behind individual police accountability for violation of human rights, more training of police in de-escalation techniques when dealing with citizens, more scrutiny by the press and by citizens of police work, and ongoing reforms and restructuring have reduced the number of fatal incidents. But the government acknowledges that more can be done. As president, I made a clear and specific pledge to permanently improve the governance space in Sierra Leone and to assure citizens of their rights. My government has expanded access to justice significantly with the setting up of more specialized and magistrate courts, the employment of more judges, and the introduction of more reforms in the sector. We will continue to engage with the judiciary on making even more progress in processing caseloads.
The president end up say for make people and continue for to get access to their human rights, bad politician them, for stop for use youth man them, per violence, where can make them end up in a prison and lost some of them freedom them.
As you note, we have reduced prison populations and we are working with the judiciary to expedite the process of more cases. You note that the youth resort to violence protest act as the first option. This is exacerbated by partisan politics. No doubt, I continue to urge bad politicians to debate policies and concrete achievements rather than practice the bad politics of inciting violence all the time.
During this ceremony, the Human Rights Commission be asked the president through the government for give them more financial support for do them work proper one. Where this, according to the president, is a government go look inside them concern ya. For the Society for Radio Democracy, me Nawani Gauja.
The program is still a listen to a Good Morning Salon where they come to you from 98.1 FM. Inside the program, we still get to studio guest them, Yusuf Dalhatu, manager and registrar, Salon Collateral Registry Banking Supervision Department, Bank of Salon. They don't dey inside the program for talk about the collateral way they work on now for ensure say small and medium term enterprise them when a small business then at the country get access to loan. You don't talk about activities them and so far from when we start to implement this program. We talk about the system we don't put in place. Any plan for give sabi to people we get for operate or get for work around the system?
Yes, thank you very much again, Musa. Once now we next line of activity, then now the system, the up and running, will they launch on the 20. From next week, will they begin to gain financial institution na free time. Staff of financial institution, individual and businesses. So they begin to gain next week. Staff of commercial bank, microfinance, selected individuals that we don't pick from Swazi guys, Belgium, different areas. Them would train them. Would train microfinance back institution, them staff of microfinance institution. How for use the system. Remember, even Google or even mobile phone, people can find it difficult for navigate. Not to talk about the whole system. So we get for spend like 3 days for each batch for train them. So we get several batch where they train at freedom. Once we don't freedom, we they go the following weeks then. Tego January we begin train other and up like Kenema, Bo, McKinney.
Quick one, listening to you now. What in small and medium-term enterprise them go expect from Muna? Quick one as to the round-up program.
So yes, small and medium enterprises them. Of course, then we done the access loan of late using them movable and others. Say with this system, the collateral registry don't then enable them for access loan. But also want to use this opportunity for thank you to the Sierra Leone Economic Diversification Project team and the doing business coordinator because they done the support for this upgrade. They don't play tremendous role and don't help the Bank of Sierra Leone for upgrade the system.
Okay, thank you for the with we now the studios. We get to other studio guest Francis Kabia, the director for social welfare. We been there so for talk about the International Day for Persons with Disability. As you don't talk about the act and the livelihood projects we una the pool nado today. Today salon the join other continent for celebrate International Day for Persons with Disability. Waiting really salon they celebrate and how the celebration will get for Talek.
Don't tell una say. They celebrate the huge achievement we hold on record for promote, protect, ensure the inherent dignity and the full participation of persons with disabilities at all levels. So now that one day we they commemorate. Now tomorrow we'll get the advocacy events. Tomorrow na the third, today na the second, today na the eve. So waiting we they do. We don't decide for expand the advocacy event. We're not a limit to tomorrow no more. So tomorrow waiting will they get now statements of commitment where they come out from stakeholders. And tomorrow they also expect the fourth gentleman of the Republic for Day for launch not only the livelihood project but also the accessibility audit report. Apart from that, we get symposium across the regions. And although we go discuss the participation of persons with disabilities in COVID-19 response, we also get a disability got talent, who's how they recognize persons with disabilities where don't play key role in national development processes. We get a day with the Honorable Minister of Social Welfare. I don't visit organizations of persons with disabilities. Now, they go there specially for go scan waiting they happen. They let we develop programs for support them. Before I conclude, I tell the United Nations Development Program, thank you, because now then supports we with the financial resources where we use for procure the equipment we will get for Google.
Thank you.
So now, Musa Duya, we are at the appeal. The UN, this I want to scale. We want forget a UN agency on disability in this country. Now we appeal where we they make this 2021 commemoration.
Okay.
Because for Pekin you get UNICEF, for women there you get UNFPA. We want disability forget a UN designated body for address issues.
Thank you very much, Director of Welfare and the Minister of Social Welfare, Francis Kabia. We join me inside the program. We come to the other studio get Salui M. Kamara, Public Affairs Officer, West African Examination Council, WAEC. You don't therefore talk about rumors them where they pass now social media. We, according to you, know to true, and you don't talk about the examination malpractice and what they put in place. Quick one as we round up the program. When people will expect the worst result for come on?
Yeah, I don't talk them before. Let them just continue for exercise patients to get issues then like we have the talk. The low turnout of examiners don't delay the process, then even we get some mix-up from other centers, the way the attendance mark sheet, then some supervisors, then they not put them accordingly. So where the examiner, then they mark some envelope, then they not get attendance sheet. All these don't delay the process. But which will they try for all, let them just continue for exercise patients. Accordingly, we will inform them when we want to release the job.
What about the issue of payment of the examiners them without the mark the paper? We don't be concerned over the years.
Now, as I talk to you, Mr. Kamara, we don't pay up to this Becare and NPSU we don't conduct this 2021. Then again, one issue again I want to make mention, do in a give me time, then we don't also float entries for Becare and NPSE 2022. So the principal there, we don't inform them, we don't write them officially. Then let them make sure, say, which then they send the details of the student then, let it be correct, because the issue of correction, they don't they give you headache at the office, and now we don't put all anything and then at the entry, let them ensure, say, the details of the candidates, the way then they take for send our database, let it be correct.
What happened with the private was?
The private was is ongoing. We still conduct them, so you know still done it on.
Una thank you, una can inside the program. Well, na this edition of the program, Good Morning Saloon, go left you. Plenty thank you to we studio guest them. We've been getting now the studio Yusuf Dalhatu, manager and registrar, Saloon Collateral Registering, Banking Supervision Department, Bank of Saloon. We've been there for talk about the activities them for ensure say they able make small and medium term enterprise them get access to loan. We don't be challenged over the